Hello guys, and welcome to a new Broken Arrow video today by me, Vulcan. A big thanks to Slytherin for sponsoring this video. In this one I'm going to be taking you through everything you need to know to get involved and what to expect with the Public Test Environment, or PTE for short, which is what I'll refer to it from now on. The PTE is basically a beta build, which will be a testing ground where we, the players, can then give feedback. Make sure once you've played around with the PTE to fill out any surveys they have to help the developers keep improving the game. The PTE should be available right now, and shortly I'm going to go through how to install it. But first, it's important to take you through a couple of technical steps for your convenience. So first things first, you're going to want to back up your decks. If we go to Arsenal Army Builder, if you click this button in the bottom left, it will take you to the folder where all of your decks are stored. What you can do is just copy and paste these into another folder that's outside of the Steel Balalaika Broken Arrow folder that is here. Just put them onto like a folder in your desktop or something like that. And that way, when you go back to the base game, you will have all of your decks and they won't be affected by any changes you make while you're playing the PTE. Now once you're in the PTE, I would probably just recommend deleting all of your decks, because as you can see, I've just updated my game from the base branch to the PTE and all of my decks are more or less invalid. So I might as well just delete them all and start again whilst I'm playing around with the changes that are present in the PTE. Now the second change is a bit more technical. It's to save your settings. So changing from the base branch to the PTE for the first time will save your settings. They should all be the same as they were before, but when you change back, there are sometimes issues that the game will not save your settings. Now in order to do that, what you want to do is go to your registry editor, find the Steel Balalaika folder, which should be under current user, software, Steel Balalaika, Studio, and then Broken Arrow. You want to right click on this folder and export it to somewhere that you can keep it safe. So in this case I have a folder that's on my desktop where I'm saving my Broken Arrow settings. Now what this will do is store all of the settings that I just showed you. Every time that they reset or it doesn't work, what you can do is come back into the registry editor, you can go to import, you can then click your Broken Arrow settings and job done. So that's something that I would also recommend doing to avoid you having to go back and set up all of your different graphic settings, or even in the gameplay settings, setting up your different colors and all of your options here. These will all get set back to default otherwise, so do bear that in mind. Make sure you close your game before you make any changes to the registry, otherwise your changes might not save. With that out of the way, let me just quickly take you to Steam and show you how to access the Public Test Environment, or PTE. Here we have the post on Steam. As you can see, the PTE is available now, and here is how to access the PTE. I'll make sure to link this one in the description as well. So how to access the PTE: open the Broken Arrow properties in Steam, go to Game Versions tab, select Open Beta Branch and install it. So what you do is you click Games, you go to your Games library, select Broken Arrow, you right click, go to Properties, and then you go to Game Versions and Betas, and there you can see the Open Beta. So you just simply select that and it will update the game to the Open Beta and start downloading. And just a reminder once again, it does tell you here how to save your settings for both versions by using the registry editor like I showed you before. Also make sure to back up your decks and quickly read over what has changed. With that out of the way, you can now access the public test environment, but before you do, you might want to know some of the changes that you're looking out for and to expect. So I'm going to go through these quickly. I have done a video on this before that goes into much more detail, and I'll make sure to link that below, but I'm just going to take you through a brief high-level overview. So there's a game mode change. There's a new sort of conquest mode where you're scored based on your control of the objectives throughout the phase, as opposed to how many sectors you have at the end of the phase. There are income changes which directly affect how much income you will have left based on the number of troops on the field. There are a lot of changes to the game mechanics in that there are new overkill mechanics for AA, so AA should feel a bit better. Infantry transports can now carry supply. So you can see here the Screzet now has 400 supply that it can use for ammunition and healing. There is also new respawn timers for a lot of different units. And you can see those with this icon here, for example. Automatic weapons in the unit panel has had their damage sort of set to damage per second. So you can see exactly how much damage units are going to do now. For example, the Cord HMD is 1.25 damage per second. There are new map variations to look out for, particularly Dam, Jelgava, and also Oil Rush have been changed quite a bit, so make sure to try out those maps. Infantry now inherit stress from destroyed transports. Recon units now have sneak ability, particularly snipers have the sneak ability. Not all recon units, just snipers at the moment, but that could very well change. This is part of the feedback that the developers need. Infantry weapons have had their changes as well on ranges. So the T5000 here on the V2V Sniper is now 1,100 meter range shot, which is pretty impressive. Tank guns have been reduced in aim time. So tanks like the Sprut and also like the Abrams are just going to aim a lot faster now than they did before. And I think this also is the case with APCs and IFVs. A lot of guns aim generally a lot quicker. Artillery units generally have longer range, but also increased aim time and increased costs. Anti-air damage and range has been slightly decreased. So missile damage is never capable of one-shotting an enemy aircraft anymore. But AA in general should be more reliable and more accurate than it was. Vertical launch systems such as the S300 have had their animations changed so they fire faster, but they also now have less range generally against low flying aircraft, as the low altitude range is now no longer modified by radar being turned on. Helicopter agility has been improved, and transport helicopter prices have been reduced, making them potentially more useful. Also, HGM aim times have been decreased on these helicopters, so they are more agile and they're able to aim a bit faster. Aircraft rearm timers are now based on the price of the ammunition, no longer the overall cost. But air superiority fighters now rearm faster, and aircraft pricing has been standardized based on loadouts. Cargo planes have also been decreased in price, so we may see more use of them, which is almost certainly the case considering radar AA against low flying aircraft is a lot shorter at the moment. Everything I've just mentioned is subject to change based on feedback from the community, so if there's anything I've said that you don't like, do make sure to tell them what you think, either in the survey or on the Discord. And if you want to see more details about what has changed, I have an entire video going through it in more detail, and there's also a document that's available on the Steam post that I'll link in the description below as well. Hopefully all of what I've mentioned gives you an idea of what to expect and look out for when you join the public test environment. Make sure to give it a good few games. Try everything out, let the developers know what you think. But that's all from me for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.